This is the Winning in Winnipeg podcast, where we talk to top performing business owners, executives, entrepreneurs, and local Winnipeg celebrities. We get to learn who they are, how they think, and we get to hear their perspective about what's really going on in Winnipeg and their businesses. Today, I'm happy to have Jeff Herlick here with me. He is the president and CEO of Bonafide Carpentry, a commercial general contractor that has been growing tremendously over the last few years. To name some of their clients, maybe you've heard some of them. Safeway, the Home Depot, Sobeys, True North, McDonald's, Federated Co-op, just to name a few. While the company was established in 1995, Jeff began his career as a general laborer over 20 years ago and has worked his way all the way up and now leads the company to some of its biggest growth to date. There is a lot that I could tell you about him, but I'm just going to let him fill you in on the rest. Jeff.
Perfect. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for being here.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so construction in Manitoba.
Yes.
Worst winter ever. Horrible. It was unbelievable.
Cold one. Exterior remodels were very slow.
Yeah.
Very painful. So,
are you guys mostly indoors?
mostly indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that helps a lot. Makes
That's
things
good.
a lot easier.
Yeah.
Instead of being outside. So.
Right. So, how does one come out of not only the worst winter ever, but also COVID when nobody knows what's going on with anything?
Well, I mean, the biggest challenges we had, were materials, shortage of employees, workers, just the whole process of wearing masks and keeping them on and, trying not to infect a job site at all and having it shut down. And yeah, so we did really well. We came through all of it really well. So yeah, it all worked out for us. How
are the corporate clients? Because you not only do it with vacant buildings, but you also, work while businesses still are running, right?
So a lot of our clients are, grocery stores, Safeway, Sobeys, and that. We keep the stores open during the day. The guys work at night, and
nice.
All construction happens cleaned up before 7, before the first customers walk in the door. So keeping it safe and clean for the morning and the day, and then back again at night when the store closes. So
is that all your work is done at night, or is just on those jobs that are active?
Just on those types of jobs. Yeah. Okay. We do a lot of retail. So, we do a lot of stores in the malls and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of those are daytime. They're new stores going in.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So,
okay.
I
was on your website today, snooping.
Okay.
And on it, so it had 1995 is when it was established.
Yeah.
Right. 40,000 plus jobs.
Yeah. If we kind of put them all together, there's definitely, there's very many. So in the, 26 years now, it's, yeah, there's been a lot of work, and it just keeps getting busier. So it's good.
Really?
So that number will keep climbing.
Yeah.
So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So what I really like about podcasts is, I'll give you some context to anyone listening. The nice thing about podcasts is, generally you don't get an hour or however long this is going to go to sit here and kind of grill you about, you and your business in Winnipeg and stuff like that. But not only that, you started as a general laborer, which is phenomenal,
right?
Because you pretty much have hit everything on the way up.
Yeah.
Right. So anyone at any point in your shoes can relate to this somehow.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so let's get a little background on you. So growing up, construction was in the family, wasn't? How did it go?
Yeah, it was. My dad started the company in 95
and
I started working for him in 97. Just as a laborer.
How old were you?
I was 18.
Okay.
So just out of high school.
Okay.
And I was working. Before that, I worked at McDonald's, and I was working full-time grade 11 and grade 12 anyways. So,
nice. Yeah.
I'd kind of work 4 till midnight at McDonald's, and then school in the morning, homework somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But it all worked well. So I've always been working a lot. So it was easy to go into construction. I've been around it forever. Just with my dad, he was involved in construction until he started his own company. So kind of similar thing. Got into it and just slowly started moving up, then running job sites, and they were all smaller projects at that time. So nothing crazy.
What's
what we're doing
considered
today.
small?
Under the $100,000. So I mean, yeah, there was it was more. We weren't remodeling full stores ourselves. We weren't a general contractor. We were more a fixture installer. So it's kind of setting stores up, that kind of thing.
Right.
So got into that. One of our clients started doing a bunch of remodels, and they said, you know what, you can do this. I know you can. So why don't you try it? And we'll kind of help you on the way too. So we priced it. We got the job, and it went extremely well. So ever since then I got off the tools at that point. I was kind of estimating it on the tools and running jobs and everything, right? So, yeah, kind of got off the tools, got into the office, and started pricing bigger and bigger jobs. So, and I mean, now our jobs can go up to almost 4 million a job. So,
Right.
yeah.
How many employees?
24, I think we're at right now.
Okay.
So, still looking for more. So,
Yeah.
we're trying to hire. We've been trying to hire for 2 years.
Public service announcement.
Yes.
Bonafide
yes.
carpentry, hiring, general laborers.
Yeah, hiring all.
All positions.
All positions.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, when you grow, I mean, that's one of the things about
yeah. Oh, it's easy to do,
it's
right?
a-
So,
it's a good problem to have, but
Yeah.
it's a problem nonetheless.
right.
Have you, through COVID, through the pandemic, and through the winter, how have you found, turnover, keeping people, and not only that, just finding people, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have very little turnover.
Okay.
I mean, we have a lot of offerings now. We just started an RSP contribution plan,
Yep.
matching RSPs. We have health benefits. I mean, flexible hours, that kind of thing, right? So, it's not for everyone, just because there is a lot of night work. You could be on days for a couple of weeks, nights for a couple of weeks, back and forth, right? So,
Right.
so yeah, it's tough. It's a tough business, but anyone that's been with us, I mean, yeah, I think one guy that's been with us long has been 20 years, so something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's
I would hate to be your scheduler.
I know it's tough. It's tough. because
He
things
or
change.
her is probably phenomenal at what they do.
Yes. Well, one of the jobs we have going right now, one of our estimators, project managers, I mean, yeah, he's constantly changing his schedule just because stuff's not showing up.
Yeah.
Right. And then we're told it's coming this day, and then it doesn't show up. And then, yeah, then you're moving everything around again. So
Right.
it's constant schedule change every week.
Well, I know something I think you said a while ago, like one of the biggest things about you guys is that you hit deadlines,
Yes.
right? Like that's
Yes.
something that often doesn't happen in
Right.
the industry.
Right.
So how have you been managing all the procurement issues, the shipping issues, and yet are you still hitting them?
We're still hitting the deadlines.
Yeah.
We watch the schedule closely, right? And we manipulate the schedule, move it around in order to keep those end dates. We'll speed things up, double our labor on a job just to catch back up or get ahead in some areas. And, in other areas that we're falling behind, then we get ahead in other areas, and then that works out that way. So that's kind of the key to keeping the deadlines going. So sometimes you're there at midnight in grand openings the next day, and you're still finishing, painting a wall or something, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it happens.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
VIP party the next day.
Yes.
Everyone's coming.
Yeah. We did a bunch of stores in Polo Park, and there was one store that we were finishing the outside. It was 4 a.m, and we quickly went home, had a little nap, came back for 7 for grand opening. So
Crazy.
Yeah. Keeping the touches, making it look good.
That's crazy. Was there ever as you came through, was there ever an aha moment for you as far as just things either clicking or like, this is what I'm going to do? You came in here pretty young.
Yeah. Like I started at 18, like I said, and it's, I don't know. I just kind of, after about a year, I enjoyed it, right? Like I like seeing something go from average to above average, the
Yep.
changes, right? So one thing I do like concentrating on is kind of the, aha moment when a customer walks into the store and, last week everything was ripped apart. The next week, there's something brand new for them to see, right?
Yeah.
So we're constantly also watching that and making sure that, it keeps the customers coming back and intrigued, right? So
That's your drug of choice.
yeah.
The client reaction and
Yeah. So, I mean, if the customers weren't there, we wouldn't have the clients. So,
correct. Yeah. So give us a little more info about Bonafide. Like, do you guys, is it only Winnipeg? Is it Manitoba? Are you looking outside of Manitoba?
Yeah, we're currently in Northwest Ontario, so from Thunder Bay this way.
Okay.
We do all of Manitoba, and we're doing all of Saskatchewan right now as well.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, kind of hit the 3 provinces.
Yeah,
we did do work in Alberta a little bit a while ago when it was really busy there. They just kind of, clients needed some help, extra people. So we did that for a bit.
When did you start branching outside of Winnipeg?
We did right from the beginning.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of
I guess with your clients are spread nationwide, if not all across North America.
So it's easy to jump into those other stores, right? So, no, they're all across Canada basically, right? So a lot of them, but we just kind of stop at Thunder Bay, then everything else is further from there. So but we have room to expand, but I mean, it's working right now and we're enjoying it, so good enough for now.
What are the jobs like? Are the jobs identical when you have to deal with them at a distance? Do you have most people on site that can handle stuff, or are they much different?
A lot of our sites, we have some really good site supers, and I mean they're familiar with retail. They all had retail backgrounds, or they started with us years ago and worked their way up already to site super, right? So, I mean, they've kind of seen all of it already. They kind of know how everything goes together. They know what to watch for. Mm-hmm. So that also does help the schedule too and finishing on time. Yeah. But just being familiar with everything.
Having good people on site is like, you can't beat it.
No.
Right? Your office can be amazing, but if you don't have somebody eyes and ears there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean our office, same thing. All our office staff are amazing. It's just it's all fit together in the past 3 years. So it's gone really well.
Right.
But
so how much would you say in the last 3 years the growth has been?
I would say we've doubled within 5 years. We've probably doubled our sales, if not a little bit more probably. So it seems to go up a quarter every year. So
what do you attribute that to?
I think it's the market. I mean, a lot of the clients that we have they did very well during COVID. Mm-hmm. You know, the home renos, the grocery stores, that kind of thing, right? So I mean, they all did okay. So I think they're putting a bit of money into their stores, fixing them up that way. So
nice.
Yeah, it helped.
And are these, like, where do your clients come from? So, I mean, these are big corporate brands. How does someone, where do they find you? Is it word of mouth generally?
It's a lot of word of mouth. I mean, in the big corporations, there's a lot of people that move from company to company as well. So when they change companies, they'll contact us again, and if they enjoyed what we did for them, right? So, and I mean, it ranges anywhere. Toronto, Calgary are probably the biggest headquarters for most of our clients, right? So, yeah. So
why are you stopping at Thunder Bay?
Just kind of further.
It's a turf war.
It's kind of a turf war. So the unions do get heavy in Thunder Bay. So, and I mean, we're very familiar with them. We know what to do, right? So, but I think going further is just a little bit too far to go for us for right now.
Okay.
So, and we do rely on a lot of sub trades.
Yeah.
So we have relationships with many sub trades in the area we're in right now, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Well, ever since I started, so I've been throwing out on our YouTube channel, just like educating people about residential construction, right?
Yeah.
And so we get, a lot of hits about like, hey, can you come build my home and enter said city anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Phoenix, Vancouver, all across North America. And I'm just like, no, I can't build it. No. I can be a client advocate for you. I can, I can work on your behalf and just help you, but I'm not going to GC it.
Go down there.
That's for sure.
Different codes.
No, different people. All new people. Are you kidding me?
Try to figure that out.
Do you know how long it's taken just to vet out?
Exactly.
Not only like employees takes a long time, right? But like trades are, it takes a long time to find someone. And not only that, you can find a good one, but then something happens in either their life or an employee life, or like somebody quits and it throws off the balance, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're just like, what happened to you guys,
They're
right?
not the same.
No, not at all.
So that's tough.
Oh, I couldn't imagine trying to.
Well, and you want to build a brand as well, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, building that brand, having that name is nice to have too. So,
Right.
But I mean, if you're, going to Phoenix to build a house, it's not, not the greatest thing. Little too far.
It would be crazy.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part of your job?
That's a tough one. The hardest part about my job, I think, would be just constantly wanting the customer to be happy. So,
Do you deal with them a lot? Like you're the...
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, just kind of managing everybody that's in the office as well, making sure they're keeping them happy, that kind of thing. So I think that's kind of what got me to where I am today. I think is more just, I'm a people person. So, I mean, it's easy to, it's easy to talk to people. It's easy to, whatever.
Yeah.
It's easy to get along with people. So.
Well, when you're like a lot of, and the longer I go, the more the lesson just hit me over and over and over about how much relationships,
oh yeah,
matter, not only just with the client, with your trades, with employees, with everyone. Like, it's all about people.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and even trades, like keeping that relationship. I mean, it helps you on jobs. They'll go that little extra mile to help you and finish a job on time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not nice to them and don't get along with them, you're not going to get very far. So that means a lot of change orders, which aren't the greatest.
Or the hated word back charge.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's one that I just cringe at.
I know.
There is, it is a tough one when trades are, we always say, we choose people that we want to be around when shit hits the fan, right?
Right.
Because like stuff's gonna go wrong. It does.
It has to.
It has to. Right. There's no perfect anything.
Right.
But it's the people that while you're in the trenches with, and when shit's just at its worst,
they're the ones that are going to help you get out of there, right? So
yeah, that's how you choose people.
Right. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
In the interview, I just start fighting with people, just see how they react.
What
the hell?
Maybe not.
Yeah. What currently? What's your biggest challenge from getting your company to the next level? Would you say?
I think hiring right now, we're pretty backlogged. We've been trying to hire since COVID started. Well, when COVID first started, we hired about 15 people. The need was there, and then we just kind of slowly laid some off. Temporary labor, basically.
Yep.
And then, right after that, then we started trying to hire again. Some kind of...
Do you have an HR person, like in-house, or how do you hire?
We had one guy that was doing it for us, an HR company. I mean, did a great job, but he found good office people, that kind of thing, but he had a hard time finding service technicians. So, so we kind of just took it on as our own. Zora in our office is kind of, collecting resumes and that kind of thing. And I mean, it just doesn't, it just hasn't been working.
Right.
And we've even had, on a Friday or Thursday, we booked in 5 interviews, maybe one shows up, then we hire that one, and then they're supposed to start on Monday or whatever it is, and they don't show up for work.
Unreal.
So, like we've gone even negotiated with one person, negotiated salary, wage, all that kind of stuff, everything. And they were supposed to start on a Tuesday and didn't show up.
It really doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to start in 3 weeks from now.
Yeah. Like no phone call, nothing, right?
Really?
So that's our biggest challenge right now, is still trying to hire. We still need to hire more people.
Right.
Just to catch up on a lot of things.
When you bring people in, do you find that, now this could be a tough, because you guys don't have that high of turnover of your core people.
Yeah.
When you hire somebody, how long does it usually take to see if they're going to fit in or not with you?
Probably about a month and a half, I would think. It's not very long.
Yeah. Is that a values thing? Is that their character? Is that how they listen, they work? What is it?
Yeah, kind of knowledge. I mean,
Okay.
you can get people that say, I know how to use a drill, and then they get to a site and they have no clue.
Right.
That kind of thing. So, yeah, just kind of watching them knowledge. They'll train with someone for the first month and then kind of start going out on their own after that. So, yeah, it's just a matter of knowledge and personality too, right? So, I mean,
Whether they're getting along, whether they're
yeah, get along with everybody else and that kind of thing. So
right.
It's yeah.
Right. What about so as you're growing, and what has been your biggest push? Like, what has it been? The relationships? Has it been, when we look at all businesses, is just like finding leads, closing leads, and
Right.
and fulfillment, building processes, and repeat, right?
Right.
What part of that have you focused on?
Well, I think a lot of our clients just come to us. So, building the office staff, I think, has just been, finding the right people and then kind of handing the jobs off to them instead of me doing it myself, right? So,
Right.
the estimators, project managers I have right now are great. So, I mean, they just kind of, client will come to me with a project, and then I said, okay, well, this person's going to do that, right? So, so yeah, just kind of.
Do you guys have to market that much?
Not really. I mean, we do advertise. I mean, the Jets games and that kind of. We do have a social media guy, so it's been nice. And I mean, I don't think the social media thing is really helping, but it's just brand awareness.
Right.
I think it's not really bringing much work, but I mean, it's nice to showcase our work. So I think that's why we kind of keep it. So
right, and that's kind of like you guys are quite involved with different organizations, different charities, all that really pushes people to not only just know your name, but top of mind kind of thing of
right.
somebody who knows someone.
Yeah,
just kind of
right. Oh, I know this person.
That's right.
I got a guy.
Oh, I heard about this fun company.
Yeah.
Why don't you give them a call?
Yeah.
What do you believe as a commercial general contractor that would go against your other people in your industry?
I think the fact a lot of times that we promise and deliver. We're also a climate smart company, so we try to recycle. We watch our gas emissions. We watch how much garbage goes into landfills. We start actually doing kind of at the end of a project, we will give our clients a safety report. So if there were any incidents or anything like that, but a total safety report to them, and then also give them kind of how much the impact they had on the environment from their project based on garbage and what was recycled and how much went to landfill. So
okay,
yeah. So I mean, it kind of.
When did that start?
Probably about a year ago now. So we've been doing Climate Smart for I think about 3 years now. But yeah, we just started doing these reports about a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat to see, like you saved by recycling, you saved this much going into the atmosphere, right?
Right. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I think doing what you say you're gonna do,
right.
like to just to even know that separates you from the competitors is mind-blowing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the same in residential.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's just like, no, we actually do what we say we're going to do.
We're going to get it done.
I know. We're going to tell you about it. We're going to show you.
Right.
We're not going to hide things from you.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing, the people that are out there.
And I think even knowing, if a client comes and asks you a question and, when is this being done? You have an answer for them, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and again, that all goes to schedule, keeping on schedule and watching the schedule and modifying the schedule constantly.
Yep.
So, I mean, we really try and tell the client things prior to them asking. So we keep them well informed. A lot of reports, pictures weekly sent out to, Calgary, Toronto, wherever.
Yep.
Pictures with a report. This is what we did this week. This is what's happening next week. Here's a bunch of pictures, that kind of thing. So they really appreciate that.
Do you guys operate as specific software, like project management software?
We do have one that we use. We started using an online one. It's been helping. It's really good with contracts and, making sure all the invoices are going in and out.
Your change orders run through there?
Change orders run through there, everything. So it'll all goes to owner and sub trades. So there's a lot more we can do with it. We're kind of halfway using it, maybe a third using it.
Yep.
So there's a lot more potential coming out of that. So, but kind of want to get this perfect and then maybe move on to the next steps with that program. So
yeah. So are you from, like, you were born and raised Winnipeg?
Yeah.
So you have an excuse for being here.
Right. I didn't come here.
I'm just kidding. What do you think the pros and cons of being based out of Winnipeg and working primarily out of Winnipeg are?
Well, there's a lot of good trades. I mean, there's a lot of, Winnipeg area had a great reputation for trades, and they're always willing to get things done. So that's one of the best parts, I guess. It's just, people care about their job here, compared to some other provinces where it's just, we'll get it done. So
what's the hardest place that you guys work in?
Where would that be? It was southern Alberta. So it was kind of off on its own. I mean, I think it was a couple hours south of Calgary. I can't remember which city it was, but yeah, no, that was probably the toughest one, just to travel, right? And go there and site visits.
Do you find that the people are any different? Like province to province, city to city?
Well, I just found, when Alberta was booming, I just kind of found that, the people there would just kind of, this company offered me $1 more an hour, I'm going there next week. So, there was kind of just follow the money, that kind of thing. So,
right.
That was back 5 years ago, whenever it was. And so that's kind of the impression I got that way. But
why not into BC at all? Is it the same thing as going far east as well?
Yeah, I don't know. We just never really, we've been offered some stuff there, but it's just kind of, it's far, and there's heavy competition.
Yeah.
And they know their stuff out there. So
right. Yeah.
Stick to what you know.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you guys are growing quickly here.
It's been crazy. So
that's good. That's good to hear, because we get a lot of stories of not good things that have happened during COVID.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, the first time I heard that construction was essential, I was like,
it was good.
Wow. Okay. I guess we are essential.
Yeah, we're staying here. So
I guess I will keep building houses.
Yeah.
So you've been running the company. When did you really start running pretty much everything?
Probably like 2010, I would say.
Yeah.
Kind of running most things. It was my dad's company, so I did purchase the company in 2018. So no, it's just me. My dad still comes into work. He enjoys it. He'll never retire.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice to see him every day and that kind of thing. So
yeah.
But
how old are your kids?
18 and 14 or 15. Sorry.
Right. They won't listen to this.
They won't listen.
You know it.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel that once, as far as kind of life balance goes, and are you putting in when were you putting in your most hours, or really?
Well, I put in most hours when they were younger.
Yeah.
So I think probably in the past 3-4 years, probably about 4 years, I've kind of slowed down, been home a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did miss out on all those younger years.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So making up for it now.
How do you think everything kind of fits in? Like when you look at it, right? You've got work, you've got family, you've got,
right.
taking care of Jeff and doing stuff that you like to do. And
right.
How do you think about it much?
Before it was just about work.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of backing down. We've got such a good team in place now, so that helps a lot, right? So, getting older, so it's kind of the 12, 14-hour days aren't there anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's just, it was back then, I think it was work Monday to Friday, spend time with friends and family on the weekends, and that was that.
Yeah.
And then grind all week. So
so if someone's kind of listening to this, what's some of the things that made you, when you dived into your role, like it's a family company, but at the same time, you're clearly good at what you do.
Right.
Right. So what would be your advice to people coming into, that entry level position and really just, what is it? What kind of attitude,
Right.
what can they do to make sure that it's a career that they can grow in?
Right. Well, I think just speaking up for yourselves. I think saying, showing that you're wanting to learn. We do have one of our project managers, Curtis. He, same thing, started off as a technician. Kind of came to me, hey, I want to go to school. I kind of want to learn more. I want to learn how to read drawings. I want to become a project manager. It's just kind of that kind of stuff. I think just keep pushing and showing that you can do it, get good at what you're doing, and then ask to move to the next level. So, sitting back, sitting quiet won't get you anywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
we met initially through the Dreammaker auction, right? Yeah. But you're on the board of executives for the board of directors for the factory.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that all come about? How did you?
Well, one of our sub-trades, they invited us to a dinner one year.
Okay.
And then, just realized what a good cause it was. And then just kind of went to another dinner and then asked what I can do more and if I can volunteer or whatever. And they I ended up on the gala dinner board, right? So, which was fun.
How long is that now that you've been on?
Oh, man. It's got to be 5 years at least.
Okay.
So, and then they kind of invited me board of directors. There was an opening, so went there and
But I find that people that get on boards and are good at that, or they like being on there, generally they start being on more boards.
Right.
Is that something that is?
Well, that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah.
So first the gala dinner board and then the board of directors, and there might be some stuff coming up soon with them and me. So yeah. So
well, it's never short. It's such a it changes gears a lot as far as, when we're work in construction, and then you're like, oh, there's a lot else outside of all this stuff. So I think it's fantastic how much you do for that.
Thank you.
Now, is there anything that you have found, is there anything that you do routinely day to day that helps you? Do you have a morning routine? Do you do you go to the lake a lot?
We go to the lake a lot.
What is your nirvana?
Yeah. Well, the lake is my happy place. So, I mean, sometimes I'll take Fridays off, go out Thursday night. When COVID hit, we put in winter water into the cabin, got it all ready so we could use it year round.
Nice.
So that was kind of our new vacation instead of going on vacation. So.
Yeah. How long have you had the cottage?
This one we've had, I think 5 years now, 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So they remodeled it. We got there. We thought, okay, we're going to throw some paint and, some new flooring in it. It'll be good for a while. And then one day we'll build. And we kind of got in it and couldn't. So
it's the home away from home.
Yeah. Painted flooring will not work on this place. So,
okay. Yeah.
So we gutted it, lifted it. And then we actually just added onto it this summer. So
nice.
So it's nice to get away every weekend.
That's a good way to keep the kids close.
It is.
Hey?
But I mean, 18 and 15, they're starting to want to stay home. So, well, Connor stays home. I mean, he's 18. So, he'll stay home most of the time. But I mean, he likes ice fishing. He likes the outdoors. So he'll come every other weekend.
Yeah.
And then Taya, our daughter, 15, I mean, she's kind of, if he's home, she'll stay home with him. But otherwise we drag her to the lake still with us. So she can bring a friend. Yeah. But
they still got stuff to learn.
Oh yeah. They'll figure it out.
What have been some of your biggest influences as you've been moving up, living, learning? Are there people? Are there books? Are there, what's had the biggest influence on you?
Not much of a reader. Yeah. So I would say it's been people. Yeah. A lot of it's been people. I like to surround myself with, like-minded people, ambition, those kind of people, it helps you.
Yeah.
If you got,
Have you done? Are you in any of the EOs, executive groups, stuff like that?
I'm in Tech Canada.
Okay, what's that?
So it's basically the same thing. A bunch of entrepreneurs that get together. We get together monthly.
Yeah.
For the whole day. We bring in speakers, and then we kind of, if we have issues, you can bring up issues. Just kind of help each other out, right? So it's been going really well. I've been part of that. I think 3 years now. So
yeah,
and it kind of helped me with my succession planning and with my dad buying him out and growing the business.
That doesn't happen every day.
No. So I had no clue where to start.
For that. Yeah.
I had no clue where to start. So it was kind of nice that, a lot of people in the group knew what was going on, knew what to do, kind of put me in the right direction, and it all worked out well.
Did you know that you were going to buy the company from your dad?
Yeah, I think at that point it was pretty much known that.
But at what point did you realize okay?
Yeah. Well, I kind of knew it was time, probably like 2015.
Okay.
Didn't know what to do to get it started, how to start a conversation, nothing. Mm-hmm. So, then I joined Tech, and they this is the way usually it's done, and here are the different people, and, start with this person and that person and go from there. So,
right.
It helped me get through all that, and then it brought my motivation really high now, and that's where we're at. Knowing
that it's not an impossible thing, that people do this all the time, right? You're not reinventing the wheel.
Right. Yeah.
Did it change family dynamics at all?
No, not at all. My parents were great about it. I had no issue. So, it was an easy transition.
Yeah. What do you think about, what are some of the challenges in Winnipeg? Like, have you had to deal with city council, dealing with, our permits department, our, zoning, counselors, stuff like that?
It hasn't been bad.
No.
Permits was an issue for quite a while. Mm-hmm. Now it's I think they finally got it. So I think for a little while it went downhill. Trying to get a permit was weeks and months, and
it was insane.
And even procedures, you weren't sure what you needed to close off a job, and then what you used last time to close off a job didn't work on this time because it's a different person.
Oh, it's changed. Look at that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So everything's online now. So you submit everything online.
Yep.
And then you go for occupancy, and then you're good to go. So I think that was the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
But they've done a really good job of changing that in the past couple of years.
What about Winnipeg would you change if you could?
Well, the weather, of course. So, but I think everybody would say
fair.
that.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to have a longer fall and a shorter winter.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know what I would really change. It's a great city. It's growing. It's, love seeing cranes downtown. That shows it's growing, right? So, kind of cranes and nice cars are kind of a sign of a good city, right? So, and I think it's really finally catching up now. I felt like it was before. It was kind of slow, kind of whatever, but I think now it's really starting to grow and come together. And seeing all the condos going up too is crazy. It's who's buying all these condos, right? So there's got to be people coming.
There has to be,
right?
You don't build if it's not there.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. All new developments everywhere. So
yeah,
it's looking good.
Favorite restaurant in Winnipeg?
Oh man,
it doesn't have to be just one.
Okay.
I'll take even secret little gems. Nobody listens to this. Don't worry. It's not going to
totally
ruin
fine.
it. Yeah.
So, we went to Chivo.
Yeah.
Chivo on Waterfront.
Yeah, I go Chivo.
Yeah. What was the other one? The Keg downtown is consistent. That is the most consistent restaurant I think we have in the city. You know what you're getting.
It is like the the good McDonald's.
Yes.
Right? Like
Yes.
you just know you're going to get
You know
something
you're gonna get-
once you order it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always order prime rib. So, I mean, it's, the same thing every time. And it's always the exact same experience. And it's always a good experience.
I used to work at the Keg.
Did you?
I did.
Really?
Many years. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
And
Back in
downtown's
72.
my favorite one. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I heard they're moving. I don't know if that's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Where
There's
would
a
they
rumor
move
out
to?
there. Somewhere closer to the arena or something. So
Okay.
I could see that.
Now that Earl's has kind of
Yeah.
gone 300 Main.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. Those are kind of my two favorite ones. There was an Italian one by Wow Hospitality. Where was it? Close to the Keg downtown.
Okay.
Italian steakhouse. That was probably my favorite.
Really?
So yeah. I don't know if it's around
Still
or
there?
not.
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it might have closed down. So, but yeah, we haven't gone for dinner lately. So apparently,
that's fair. And it's no surprise that it was like they were just kind of forcing people to shut down. I couldn't imagine what it would have been like owning a restaurant, running a restaurant, or like anything that they were shutting down.
Well, and even a lot of them were told, okay, you can open on Friday, and you can open on Tuesday. Like how do you get employees? How do you get food there? How do you get, especially give you a week over a weekend yet, right? So, no, it would have been really tough for them.
Right.
I felt really bad for restaurants. We did actually during COVID, we would try and order from local restaurants once a week. We would order in or grab takeout when they only had takeout. Just kind of support the smaller restaurants that way.
Yeah. Well, even running the, galas and stuff like that, trying to like charities, right? You still have no one's coming out, no one's supporting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like we went down a ton. Like we got affected a lot, right?
Yeah. Well, one more restaurant's Ray's Bistro on Headmaster and Lage. That's another really good one.
Ray's Bistro, really?
Yeah. Super good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So,
that's
close
a
to my
good
house,
one.
So there we go.
I like this.
Yeah.
See?
And they support the Dream Factory. They supported the Dream Factory this year. So
Fantastic.
So
Nice.
plug them.
Yeah. Totally fair.
Yeah.
This has actually all been worth it
Yeah.
just for that
Just
little
for that.
tidbit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now I can,
Now you know where
now
to
I know
go.
where the next date night is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Cafe Carlo is good too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cafe Carlo's really good.
So we haven't been there in a long time, but yeah.
I've found, I've traveled to Portland quite a few times.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, it's the gastronomic capital and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But when I think about Winnipeg and you talk about we have an incredible amount of amazing restaurants.
There's what is it? Winnipeg has more restaurants per capita than any other city or something like that in
It
Canada.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Like there's so many little hidden gems in Winnipeg. So it's just finding them. It's all word of mouth. So
Do you think that's the only thing? Like, as far as, I know that I forget who I was talking to, and they were saying like we have the most amount of millionaires per capita. There's a lot of money here, right? Like just old money, family money.
Well, and I think Steinbach is the same thing, right? Steinbach was the most millionaires per capita.
Really?
Yeah. Most humble people.
Yeah.
You would never know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we are quite low key.
Winnipeg, Manitoba, everyone's very low key, I think, here. There's no real show offs or anything like that. So, which is nice. It's,
Well, I think if you buy a Lambo and you're driving a Lambo here, the first pothole you hit, you're like, okay, no, this isn't the place.
There's 50 grand for brakes.
Yeah, this is not the place to have this. And then you sell it, and then you're good to go.
Right.
The Winnipeg legitimately keeps you humble.
Oh yeah,
just because
you're not allowed.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
You know the phrase, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Okay. So is there anything that, coming here that you think that I should have asked you about that I didn't?
I don't know. We covered a lot of things.
We did.
Personal and business.
We did.
So
anything else you want to plug?
We did change our name to Bonafide Construction Solutions.
Oh, that's a big one.
2019.
You know why that's a big one? Because your email changed.
Yes, that's right. My email changed. Some people still email the old address, but we had issues with
forwarding.
we were supposed to forward them.
Right.
But the guy who set up our email originally, whenever 10 years ago, he's nowhere to be found. And apparently the code in order to change passwords goes to his cell phone. Nobody knows who he is. So we currently have a hold because that domain expired in December.
Yeah.
So we have a hold right now for a warning so that when that domain comes back up, we get it back. So which we want to keep,
right,
and forward our emails, which we can't do right now. So
I noticed that on bonafidecarpentry.com, right?
Right. So now it's bonafideconstruction.ca.
Right. Yeah.
So we had to change our name. We weren't carpentry anymore.
Right.
So I mean, we did have a shop.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So it was time. Yeah. I mean, we're still working on the rebranding for the building for our vehicle, for a lot of vehicles and that kind of thing. So getting there slowly. But yeah, our email, we changed it a year and a half ago, kind of gave the warning out there. And then all of a sudden it was just gone. So we're not getting emails. We're not getting invoices. Subtrades are calling. Why haven't you paid us? We didn't get your invoice. So so nobody updates their email. It's everybody.
Isn't it funny how something so small can just murder you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, last week we got from one subtrade, we had to, same thing. She's like, you haven't paid me since October. I'm like, oh, because October, our emails quit working completely. October, November. And she's like, well, I haven't been paid. I'm like, you should have asked me a lot longer, long time ago.
I still have a phone.
Yeah, I still have a phone.
Just
we still
email.
talk. Yeah. I pay you in a certain amount of time, no matter what.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I thought something was weird. I'm like, okay. So now,
she's a patient person, I suppose.
Totally. Yeah. I'm like, wow, it'd take that long to pay you?
Crazy.
So, yeah.
It's insane how administrative backups or mess ups or shit like that, it can absolutely crush you if it's the wrong time or if you get busy and it's not taking if there's certain things that aren't taken care of.
Right. And even, it gives you a bad name. And I want, keeping subtrades happy again. Right. So I want to keep them happy and working for us and, so they know when we pay them and we pay on time, and that helps a lot too.
Right.
So
how big is the office staff?
1, 2, 3, 7 of us. Yeah. But we're actually starting a remodel in the office. We're going to add in 2 more offices and one kind of common office with 3 desks in it. So, we did the open concept. We added on 6 years ago. We did the open concept office for the PMs. Yeah, and it was just
they're all on bean bags and
no, we didn't go that far, thank God.
Playing air hockey on their bean bag.
Air hockey and a beer fridge and so we kind of did that one open office for the 4 PMs with 4 desks, and it's hard because you got one talking, one's trying to listen, and all doing their own thing now. So we've just kind of progressed, I guess, basically.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of take that big office, make it 3 offices, add 2 more in the back, one for a safety officer, one for a service manager, and then kind of have we'll do one common office area, and then we'll add more estimators, project managers. So
yeah.
And there's lots more we could be doing. We don't go on construction association or anything like that. We don't bid on any of those jobs. So that's all coming soon.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
I switched it up and I started throwing a few beers in the fridge there, and I think everyone just thought it was a test. Just
see if they take it.
Should I? I don't know. I don't know what we should do here.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of just stuck to I want everybody to go home at the end of the day and just enjoy themselves, relax, right? So, we've kind of stuck to the donuts, doing lunches, that kind of thing. So, yeah. So
that's good.
The morning.
Well, thanks so much for being here. Congratulations on things.
Thank you.
Growing so well. I think it couldn't happen to a better person and company. I like I like that you guys do what you say you're going to do. That's a big one.
That's huge.
My license plate reads DTFW, which is do the fucking work.
I love it.
And I think that there's not enough people and companies that do that. But, your company definitely does that and does what they say they're going to do, which would make this world a better place.
Well, and it's tough as you grow as well to try and keep that same,
Well, there's always problems that come up.
Yeah.
Right. As with growth, right? If you're growing too fast.
Yeah.
And you're getting the jobs, but now it's fulfillment.
Your details are suffering and everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or you invest in the company and now you're not, you're struggling on the job parts because you're reinvesting and you have more people and it's always a balance.
It's tough. It's always changing daily. So the business is changing daily, same as the schedule almost, right? Half the time. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, anyone that can work crews overnight and still manage to stay sane, you're a better man than I am.
Thank you.
But I appreciate it. Thanks so much for sharing.
No problem.
And you're welcome back anytime.
Perfect. Love it.
Right. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.